Alright. Let's talk betas. That's why I'm here. Hello everybody, my name is DIU1999, and I'm going to be discussing two betas that were playable for the weekend. You might have seen some video on my channel of the DNF Duel. I also want to talk about the KOF 15 beta, the second beta. Now, I'm going to start out with DNF Duel, and the reason why this thing is called, the title of the fucking stream is called A Tale of Two Betas / How Not to Do a Beta, is because DNF Duel is a good game, from what I played of the beta. However, the beta handling itself was fucking atrocious. Like, yeah, it was pretty fucking bad. First of all, if you're an Arxis fan, and you're just thinking what I'm spewing is bullshit, frankly, you're a civilian in this case. You're a fucking civvy. And if you don't know what that means, you don't need to know about it. Because basically, I'll explain. A civilian is a guy who knows no fucking clue about what he's talking about. You're a civvy. You have no fucking idea what the hell you're talking about is. My friend came up with that term, and it's fucking hilarious. Anyway, basically, DNF Duel, as I said, was a good game. The gameplay of DNF Duel is pretty solid. There are some characters that are Crusader, Inquisitor, and Striker. Those are the three most brain-dead characters of the beta. The Strikers just got a mash, they have fucking infinites. The Crusaders got heavy-ass armor into an infinite. And the Inquisitor can spam Force Will into an infinite. There's a fucking pattern here. They have infinites. I mean, having an infinite is not a bad thing, but still. Basically, the beta came out an hour before KOF, so they were really trying to flex on KOF. This whole idea was essentially the beta was trying to fucking say, hey, King of Fighters, we have the superior beta. DNF Duel has the superior beta. We're going to come out an hour before you, and it's going to fucking be amazing. And as soon as it came out, the servers weren't working. Now, I have played multiple fighting game betas before. I played Titanfall 2 beta, I played the MKX beta, I played the MK11 beta, I played Guilty Gear Strive beta, Dragon Ball FighterZ beta, KOF 15 beta, 1 and 2, and now DNF Duel. So I played a lot of fighting game betas, I played a lot of betas in general. Now, some betas do not work, and that's understandable. But 75% of betas that I have played have fucking worked. The servers were functional, or it was a little bit of lag, and it fixed itself after a while. Now, the fact that this game had 100, or fucking came out a whole hour before KOF, it should have been working, tip-top shape. So, they tried flexing and failed. Then they forced you to play against AI opponents with random characters. That's when you have to, discover the game, and it was fun. Now, after getting through the beta, and after, fixing all the issues, which took 4 fucking hours to do, 4 fucking hours to do, which KOF beta literally came out and just said, smack you, we're gonna fucking take our crown back and run the fuck away, because guess what, you ain't a challenge. And basically, after the beta of KOF started, it was functional, it had all the shit. Now, when DNF Duel started, or when it started working 4 hours later after it came out, which is fucking unbelievable, people found an issue. There was no training mode. Now, fighting game betas, for the most part, either do one of two things. Either dedicate yourself to online-only matches to test the servers, which are very few, or two, they have some local thing where you fight AIs. That was your training mode, was fighting AIs. Now, I believe a fighting game beta should have a training mode, or at least a local mode where you can practice your skills against AI opponents. That's a good idea. That's what should be done. The fact that DNF Duel did not have training mode, or any local modes, is fucking unexcusable. It really is. It should have had a local mode so that some people who aren't that much into fighting game only online should get used to how to play the game without getting fucking immediately taken advantage of by people who've been playing, mashing essentially. It's fucking hilarious. Fuck you. And, basically, the DNF Duel beta start off with the wrong foot. It doesn't have online. That's already 2 big strikes against it. Even the Fighters beta had training mode. You just didn't have to fight online half the time. I spent most of my time online because I didn't want to learn. I wanted to learn in the heat of battle, and frankly, I got my shit kicked in the Fighters beta, but I also kicked some people's shit in the Fighters beta as well. Now, Arc System's beta's histories haven't been that good after Fighters, because after Fighters was the Stride beta, and the Stride beta was really shitty. But I would say DNF Duel, once it started working, it was pretty decent. Now, rollback has been implemented, which is a good thing, because, fighting games need rollback. And here's the thing. ArcSys is getting a lot of fucking praise by saying they invented rollback. Incorrectamundo. Very incorrect. The first fighting game to ever use rollback was NRS's MKX. They switched from delay-based to rollback in 2016. 2016 is when rollback should have been a thing. Like, post-2016, every fighting game shouldn't have fucking delay-based. They should have rollback. Now, the fact that fucking... As I was playing DNF, I noticed that when it started to lag at its worst, it was playing like Fighters. It was dog shit, it was slow, it was bad. But at its best, it was really fun. The gameplay itself of DNF isn't an issue. The only issues I have are balancing some of the characters, getting rid of an infinite, and getting rid of a loop with Striker and stupid spammable MP moves. But then again, you gotta use MP to do big damage, which is fine, but you have Striker, who is the antithesis of that, by literally doing an infinite without meter. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, after all that's said and done, I played a lot of the beta. I uploaded some videos of playing the DNF beta. It wasn't a bad game. That's the thing. I'm very excited for DNF. I'm still excited. I'm just mostly pissed off with the handling of the beta, and the defense of people defending this beta is fucking unexcusable. Honestly, if you're defending DNF's beta saying it was a good beta, and when I say I meant like the standards of the beta, it wasn't a good beta. It was a good game held back by a shitty beta. Now, it did get me hyped for the game, and I'm waiting for summer 2022 with very much excitedness for DNF Duel. I just hope that the game has a shit ton of characters for the easy like gameplay of it. Because it's a really fucking basic bitch game. And the funny thing too is that its control scheme isn't even unique to itself. But like, oh, DNF's so unique, you got button supers. I'm like, there's a fighting game that came out fucking 2020 that has the exact same thing. And they're like, no, there wasn't. And I'm like, yeah, there was. Metal Revolution came out on the phones in select countries. It has a jump button, and a light attack, a heavy attack, a special, and an ultimate. It has a very, very similar thing. The only difference between the two games is that Dungeon Fighter is a meter management type of game, while Metal Revolution is more of a dodging, getting in on your opponent's face, doing a big combo. And that game has balancing issues too, which is kind of funny. They both suffer from similar issues, but... And oh yeah, the funny thing about Metal Revolution is that it lags not as often as DNF Duel, which is kind of funny because it's a mobile game on a phone that I run through an emulator on my fucking laptop to play, which is hilarious. But it works better than the DNF Duel beta at its like worst, which was really funny. But overall, I'm gonna rate the DNF Fighters Duel beta. I want more characters. The gameplay's pretty solid. I think it should get some slight changes, not overboard, because some people want overboard changes. Like, they want jump blocks, they want all this other stuff. But I want some serious nerfs on Striker, Priest, and Inquisitor. I keep calling him Priest. Crusader. Fuck. The funny thing, I feel like Crusader is slow and tanky, and that's his whole shtick, and that's his balancing, but he's got a big-ass projectile that you can't duck, and you can't even jump, too. Like, but then again, I feel like the gameplay of DNF is more about spacing and how you space control. It's about the neutral. People are like, oh, DNF's not going to be about a neutral-heavy footsie game, and guess what? It's a fucking neutral-heavy footsie game. That's what DNF is. That's literally what it is. You play the beta, you know what the hell I'm talking about. It's a neutral-heavy game. It's about spacing, controlling your character's space between each other and getting in and fighting. I played in the beta the most, if you see my videos, Vanguard, which is... Oh, I didn't play Vanguard, fuck me. Ranger. Ranger is the guy with the revolvers. People are saying he's annoying, but his attacks are slow as shit. If you get beaten by a ranger and complain about his attack speed, unless you're priest, you shouldn't be taken lightly. I was beating strikers left and right. Why? Because the strikers kept trying to mash on me, and I kept dodging them and pushing them away. They're like, oh, how are you so able to push me away? Because I got range, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use my spacing, setting up strings, and setting traps and combos and stuff like that. It was the most satisfying thing. Hitman is the king of 50-50s. That's another character I played a lot. Hitman. King of 50-50s. You guess wrong, you're going to get punished heavily. You guess right, you can punish him heavily. Fair balance type character. The other third character I played a lot was Dragon Knight. She's a very fucking fun character. Very, very technical. And the another character I played was Konoichi. She's fucking insane. The rushdown, those are rushdown type characters done. They don't have infinites, but they're used. They basically have to use meter to do a lot of combos. But when you hit them in the corner, it's like they have insane corner pressure, insane mix-ups and shit. Very fun. Very fun characters, both Dragon Knight and Konoichi. Okay, gameplay itself was very good. The beta having those two big issues of no training mode or offline mode if you want to like try to learn the game, and not working until 4 hours later, do hinder the beta. So I'm gonna give it, out of a like 5 score, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It was a good game, held back by the shittiness of the beta. The beta itself was fucking awful. Now, King of Fighters. That's the other thing I want to talk about. I'm going to make this short and simple and sweet. The KOF 15 beta, which I played very little of because I wanted to dedicate myself to DNF, the KOF 15 beta was fucking perfect. Practice mode, local battles, online mode, you do a King of the Hill practically against multiple people, and the internet rollback was smooth. The gameplay of KOF 15 is fucking fun. It's retro, it's unique, it's new, it's old, it's classic, it's perfect. It's KOF. Done in the easiest way for newbies to learn and the masters to dominate them at. There's a fucking balance to it and it works really well. Also, the game has some characters that are going to take some dedication to do. It's like I'm not the best at Blue Mary, but I kept trying to learn Blue Mary, and Blue Mary is really fucking fun. She's a charge grappler, which is a unique character trope, unlike some other games who say they have unique character tropes. Chaos! But Blue Mary was very fun. Terry was fun, I liked. Ryo Sakazaki was very cool. Antonov was cool. I really wish I would have played a little more Cronin and K-Dash. Isla, my friend made Isla, and he was beating the hell out of me with Isla. Isla looked really fun, too. But yeah, all the characters seem unique. Plus, the roster is going to be 39 characters, and you either play them 1-on-1 to 3-on-3, which basically is the 1-on-1-on-1. Very unique style. The KOF 15 beta is a 5 out of 5. It's a perfect beta, and as this should be how fighting in beta should be done. That's what KOF 15 was. Honestly, KOF 15 had the better beta. Even though I played more DNF, and I know a lot of people definitely played more DNF, KOF 15 betas was better than DNFs. It did its job, and it did it to perfection. Tested the servers, tested the gameplay, got people hyped up. It's coming out in February. I'm buying that game, definite. It's going to be one of my, 2 or 3 purchases in February, because I'm trying to limit myself to this shit. But overall, the better beta was KOF 15. And that's not even biased from gameplay standards. Honestly, if I were to say which game has better gameplay, for noobs, DNF. But the better game is kind of hard to say, because the best thing about DNF is Ark's visuals, because Ark is like the king of the anime visuals. Now, they're shit at gameplay and balancing, as clearly seen by the previous games. They're also pretty shit at hitboxes. I mean, I've seen footage of crappy hitbox from Ark games, including Fighters, Strive. Rev 2 didn't have shitty hitboxes, which I don't know why. But yeah, ArcSys has a major fucking hitbox issue. In DNF, I didn't get that as much, and the funny thing is that most moves in that game cover a fucking big-ass fucking box of the screen, but there wasn't that issue for the most part. I only think that happened once, and that was because I was in the corner and it was a quick switch. So it makes sense. I mean, the game was it was really fucking fast. It was really insane. It was really fun. But Yeah, the insane hitbox issue of previous Arc Sys games are annoying as hell. But overall, DNF was fun. I'm very excited for it. But KOF 15 beta is the superior beta. Not the superior game, but the superior beta. Meaning it had a functioning beta upon release. It did its job to smoothest. Honestly, what DNF should have done, hey testers, since we fucked up and couldn't have the beta playable for 4 hours, let's give you 4 extra hours of beta on today. That would have been fucking insane. That would have been a really good idea. But no, they wanted to close the servers down because they're like, hey, let's get back to it. I'm also excited for the next 3 characters. I really hope the game has 20 characters on release. That would be a good, hefty number of characters. Honestly, I want more, but still. But I think it's going to be 16 with DNF. But yeah, that was me talking about both betas for like 50 minutes. Tell me what y'all think of the betas. And I hope to God I don't get Arc Sys fans in my fucking comments, which I doubt they're going to see it. Because Arc Sys fans are the fucking worst, man. They are like the toxic people of the Capcom community, the NetherRealm community, basically it's all the worst fucking fighting game people in one community. That's Arc Sys community. They act like they know what the fuck they're talking about when they don't. And if you give them a definition of a term like a meaty or a shoto, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Like, I can't believe people are still calling Grappler a shoto to this day, and it's not unironic, it's just fucking stupid. It's really stupid. It's like, okay, you know that whole argument that Kazuya's not a shoto, or like fucking, who's another good example of not a shoto? It's like me saying, okay, oh, I know, this is the way to piss people off. I tell people that Soul is a shoto, and they say, oh no, Kai's a shoto. Okay, he's got a projectile, he's got a Shoryu, and he's got a Tatsu. He is a shoto. He's a rush down shoto. He's slightly unique because he's a rush down shoto. He's up in your face. He's messing you up. He is a rush down shoto. He's still a shoto. And I know I just pissed a lot of people like, oh, he's not a shoto. You don't know what you're talking about. Even though I played fighting games for longer. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I know fighting games. I'm not fucking the best at them, but I know I don't know everything about them, but I have a good knowledge. I know more than Arc Sys community, and I know more than the civvies out there.